It's your destiny to greatness with Dr. C and Brothers Keeper. Today, where we've been, where we're going, and Friday trivia. And now, here are Dr. C and Brothers Keeper.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are you?
Excited, as usual.
Well, I'm excited to be with you to do this show. I just want you to know that I really appreciate you for sharing with me all the goodness that we've been talking about here lately.
And you know, I thank you for expressing that to me because sometimes we need to know that we are appreciated.
I believe that because let me tell you, many times people will let us know all the bad things and the
Most
things
definitely.
that they don't like about us, but they have a problem with telling us the little things that they like about us.
Exactly. I mean, case in point, today I was observing a guy give a presentation today at work. And you know, I felt compelled to tell him when I saw him later on that he did a really good job. And I think at first he thought I was joking.
Right.
And I was being brutally honest with him. And where I like to look at things now is I try to take a little bit of information from everything I see.
Yes.
And so I was looking at his techniques and his mechanics, and I thought I'd take away some of the things that he did that were pretty good, and I tried to apply it when I'm in front of someone trying to give a speech or a presentation, and he did really well.
Well, that's wonderful when you can learn from others when you don't believe that you have it all.
Yeah.
So, and that's just how it is.
Yes.
We're learning from others and then we're sharing with you.
Yes.
So, let's come on in and relax with us just for a little while as we focus and think back on our wonderful shows from this week. The power to love, even the not so lovely. Because let me tell you, I was snapped on today.
Oh.
But I'm thanking Jesus for, I didn't even have the urge to roll my eyes, and back in the day I would have wanted to kick somebody. I did not want to do it today. And I was able to keep my smile and to laugh when I got to talk to somebody else. But people are mean.
Yes, I had an incident a few days ago, and I'm just so glad that I try to seek God for advice and understanding that those little drops of wisdom when we connect to Him come on us, and once we start to employ some of the things that He tells us. I had an incident, and the only thing I could do was think about conflict resolution.
All right, okay.
And the more things went a certain way, I could think back on what the old Pat would have done. And I could like smile and say, oh man, look how far I've come. And as my brother said, these big words start flying out, like, where did that come from? But at the same time, my ultimate goal was try to bridge the gap of our differences. Because at some point, you need to understand, as I posted one day this week, that the foolishness has to stop.
Yes.
The older we get, time is winding down, and the foolishness has to stop. And as my man preached on Sunday, and if not, cut them off.
Right, exactly. And the thing of it is, we have to get to the point where we don't take everything personally.
Yes, yeah, it's a good point.
We don't take everything personally because, for one, that person may be feeling insecure within themselves, and that's the way that they know how to deal with that situation at that particular point in time, right? Because they may not have all the answers, and they may not feel confident enough to say, wait a minute, let me get back to you.
Yes.
And I'm confident in doing that, but not everybody is. So then they lash out. So go ahead.
And then again, sometimes when people come up in a dysfunctional environment and they saw how the ones that they were trying to pattern themselves behind resolve their conflict a certain way, well, as they get older, as I said before, they drag that same type of action into their everyday living, and they've done it so long it seems normal, and they don't see anything wrong with it. They'll walk away, and we looking at them like, what? Right. They walk away like that never happened.
Right, exactly. So that's why we have to make sure that we're having this power to love even the not so lovely. And we don't want to be in that category of being not so lovely.
Yes.
You know, I was talking today to Pastor David Edwards because we work together, and it's important for us to be consistent. We don't want people coming up to us and say, oh my gosh, you know, how are they going to be today?
Yes.
We want people to be able to come to us each and every day and say, I know that Brothers Keeper and Dr. C, I know that they're going to be the same lovely people each and every day.
You know, that's one of my favorite words I try to use and I try to live by, being consistent. And I always tell people, like when I was in management, they say, you're mean. I said, I'm not mean, I'm just stern.
Right.
There's a job to be done. I said, well, you should be able to get along with me. Why? I said, because tomorrow when you see me, don't you expect me to be the same way? Well, yeah. Well, what's the problem?
Right.
I said, I'm consistent. I'm going to be the same way every day. It's the ones, like you said, they got their highs and their lows.
Yes.
They're on their roller coaster ride, and every day you don't know what to expect. So the more consistent we can be, believe it or not, we'll be able to bridge that gap of our differences.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that kind of tied us in and bridged the gap between our two shows this week, overcoming your obstacles.
Yes.
And my goodness, sometimes when we see obstacles and they seem to be so huge, but then if we would just take a breath and take a moment and pray, we'll notice that those obstacles seem to decrease.
As you said before, it's sometimes our view that magnifies it. And it really wasn't as bad, but because we went back into our negative coping mechanism, because that's what we are comfortable with, that's automatically what we'll do, and magnify it. Then later on we calm down and we'll run our blood pressure up and probably lost a couple seconds off our life.
Yes.
For nothing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And it really wasn't an obstacle to overcome in the beginning. We, with our, what they call it, catastrophic thinking, we blew it all out of proportion for nothing.
Sure.
Walk away later on, calm down, and you look back on it like, man, why did I act like that? But we have hope, because the more we become in tune with God's way of doing things, we'll change the way we cope with things, and it's a process.
It is, and it helps us.
Yes.
It helps us from the inside out.
Yeah.
Because when we're always handling things like this in a frenzy, then our heads hurt, our blood pressures go up, people don't want to be around us.
Yes.
But when we're able to take a moment and take our time and realize that we can only take care of things one step at a time, then we begin to tackle things. The things that we can handle, then let's handle them. Those things that we can't, then we just have to leave those things alone.
Yeah, I employ our viewers, to take time one day and look at the Serenity Prayer. And if you look at that, you would understand what we're talking about. You control the things you can, accept those things you can't, but have the wisdom to understand the difference.
Yes.
Sometimes people don't understand the difference. They look at things, well, it's the same. No, it's not.
No.
If we, like you say, we get some clarity, as I stated before, our water stop being so muddy.
Right.
Then we can see what's going on, step back, take a deep breath, and you know what? More harmony will come.
Sure.
There'll be more harmony, because when you see that same person that you thought was your obstacle, or that one that's so hard to love, when you see them the next time, you'll understand that, as we've heard, that we're not fighting against the flesh and blood, but it's the principalities of the darkness.
Yes.
You know, and that's the people that's nearest to us. That's the one the enemy gonna plot against to use on us. But sometimes they don't even know. So I've always said, if once we figure out a thing and we understand what's going on and we still react the wrong way, it's not them anymore. It's on us. Because now we know better. We know better. So since we know better, at some point we should work towards doing better and being better.
Well, exactly. Pastor Smith always says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to reach, that harmony, because ultimately there's so many things that we can do. As I said before, a man's gift will make room for him. But if we got our waters all muddy, we don't even know what our gift is. It could be some of the simplest things, but so powerful.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be anything huge.
Yeah.
But one important thing in reference to our gifts or reaching for our destiny, we have to make sure that we're focused.
Yes.
See, I can't have my eyes on Brother's Keeper or the next person. I have to make sure that I'm focused on God's will for me in my life. And if I don't, then I can get messed up all in my head. I can look at somebody else and say, oh my goodness, this person is excelling. That person is excelling and moving. And when is it my turn? Why not me? But if I focus on me and what God has for me to do, and I kind of put blinders on, then that will help me on the inside to say, okay, I know that I'm walking in the direction that I'm supposed to be walking. I know that my time will come because God hasn't forgotten me. This is where I'm supposed to be right now. I just have to do what it is that He would have for me to do at this point in time right here.
Yeah, because as you stated before, that self-doubt, that's a mechanism that the enemy will use to try to come in and see what parts of our armor is not secured, and they'll come in, and as you said before, believe it or not, then someone else will be viewing us as that person not so lovable. And we like, what, not me? And we won't have no idea of what we are radiating, broadcasting out to others.
Sure, even our facial expressions, things that we used to do, we don't do it. Either we don't do it or we don't do it as well.
Yeah.
The smile that we had, we don't have that because we're all in our heads and we start sinking in and we feel depleted and deflated.
And you'd be surprised who noticed. I mean, I'm going to go back to the guys. I got a nice group of guys I work with. They told me one day that when I came back from my route, unbeknown to me, they would be watching me. I'm like, why are you watching me? They gauged how good they did the night before, according to my reaction when I came in the door. I'm like, what do you mean? If you came in singing, we knew everything was okay. But if you came in, as you said, looking dejected and all like you'd been sucking on a lemon or something, they all would just back away from it. I had no idea. I used to see them, but I didn't know what they were doing. But thank the Lord that my good days outweigh my bad days. And very seldom did I come in and complain. But when I did complain, I mean...
I know. Look.
When I did complain, amen, if all the days that I did complain, well, my complaining seemed to overshadow all the good days. And that's what happens in life too.
And it can be hard to come out of that.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, help me. What's going on? And Satan is like, yes, I have her now. I have her now. And I'm like, no, the devil is a lie.
Yeah.
No, you are defeated. And those are the things that we have to be mindful of.
Yes. A lot of people don't know what mindfulness thinking is. A lot of times we don't understand about thinking. Most of the time when things happen to us, it started with us as a thought. And I found the word has been there all the time, but I just found it. Mindfulness thinking. That's thinking about what you're thinking. And it might sound a little strange, but that's what we need to do. We be cognitively aware of what we're thinking at all times. And I guarantee you, we will act less on impulse if we think more before we do something. And I'm pretty sure, and if we talk to God more, He will cause us to think more. And as we think more, we will react less. As they say, we turn it over to Him.
Yes.
That's our reacting less. Turn it over to Him. And many times, we will see that He'll take care of it.
He will.
Things will happen and we won't have to do a thing.
All of the time, He'll take care of it and we'll be so much better for it. Which makes me think right now that I need to thank our viewers who are here with us all the time. Thank you so much. Because we appreciate it.
Yes.
We really do. And specifically, Christopher C. and Sheil R., thank you so much for commenting on our YouTube channel. That means a lot.
It's some useful information.
Yes, it really is. It really is useful.
Because this is a work in progress. We're, like I said before, we're at the ground level. But we're all in this together. And as we grow, you grow, and it'll be like a reciprocity. What goes this way, we'll take it. And what goes that way, you can take it.
Yes. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so that you won't miss a show. Make sure you continue to watch the show and comment and let us know. All this is important for our growth.
Yes. So we can gauge ourselves and understand what you all need as a viewer, and not so much we're running on what we think you need. With the feedback, we'll see what we're doing, and with our conversation with the Lord, He will guide us to give you what you need, and then with us, as we minister to you, we'll be ministering to ourselves as well.
Yes. Now, help us out. Somebody follow us on Twitter so that we can get that going. We have 1 follower. We need some followers so we can start talking, and then share this good news with somebody else.
Yes.
We need your help. We can't do it by ourselves.
No.
We can't do it by ourselves. But one thing that we are proud of, we're proud that we know that somebody and some people are really thankful for this information. And we are planning some great things for season 2. We have 1 more week in season 1 coming up next week. So our next week's topics, what's holding you back? Oh goodness. So you have to make sure you stay tuned to see what that's all about. Minister Marie Gunner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Pastor Wallace Smith. And our Wednesday show for next week, God Has Not Forgot You. Deacon Aaron Lewis and Pastor Rosie Edwards. So next week's show, our last week in season 1, will be very, very good and exciting. And then we'll get prepared for season 2. Yeah.
We were talking about Paul earlier. Her and I, we was talking about how Paul was trying to get to Italy, and he wanted to get there, but he never knew how he was going to get there. The Lord got him there, but he didn't understand the route he was going to have to take. And the same thing with us. Sometimes we get to the place that the Lord wants us to be. He never told us there'd be some hills and bumps and valleys before we get to the top of the mountain. So he was telling them when they were almost shipwrecked to eat and strengthen themselves. And I take from that, that's the same thing we need to do with the Word. We need to feast on the Word. So when those trying times come, we will be strengthened so we can make it through the journey. And with saying that, this week's trivia, before we ask the question, this is an entrepreneur who gave me this nice t-shirt. And unfortunately, all he had was large. And it's not the shirt, it's the thought. It's a nice shirt.
It is. I love it.
And I'm thinking if someone wins the shirt and they really don't wear it large, you can always be a blessing to someone else. Maybe give it to a friend or a brother or a sibling, mother, father. Someone, let them share the good news. And back to the trivia question. When Paul was shipwrecked trying to make it to Italy, what was the island that he landed on?
All right. Very good.
Or should I say, where was the island that he landed on?
Very good. Good question this week. So we're excited for an increase in participation so that you can win this shirt by
rounds.
Okay? And thank you to all of you who participated last week. It was very good. Very good. So again, email answers please to your.destiny2greatness@gmail.com. Give us your name and state so that we will be able to announce who you are on our Twitter page. Also, you have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday to get your answers in. And we'll post your answers on our Twitter page on Saturdays.
Sounds good?
Sounds good to me. Health, wealth, and beauty. Health, wealth, and beauty. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul, and health to the body.
See, if the God you said has healed you, where's your healing? Is it temporary or is it a consistent thing? You have to live what you say. If you say God can keep you, then be kept.
Right.
If you say God can hold you, then be held.
I may not be rich, I may not be where I want to be as far as my music wise, but I just thank God for my family. I thank God for all of my friends. I just thank God for just giving me the opportunity to write my songs and be able to sing and just spread His words all around wherever I go. I'm just thankful.
If you need advice, you can go to a cosmetologist, an educator, or a teacher. Ask questions, listen, and keep your options open. This will not only give you information and resources, but it will give you beauty tips in the beauty and health world. Thank you and have a good day.
And you got to have faith,
Yes.
you know, and faith, the acronym of faith I like to use is forsaking all, I take Him.
Wow.
Talking about the Lord. You got to have the Lord in these days.
It's just me thinking again. Hi, this is Brother's Keeper, and it's just me thinking again. As you heard me state before, we were talking about conflict resolution. You would be surprised that if we work more on ourselves and less pointing the finger at others, some of the conflicts that we're in would just be eliminated. Because the more we work on ourselves, the things that we see someone do that may have kind of irritated us before, we'll just blow it off and we'll think that everything's okay and just love them. And everything will be okay. It's just me thinking again.
We are destined for greatness.
Each and every day, we're faced with challenges that make our life difficult. But if we trust that God will see us through, those challenges will not defeat us. Look, hold on, keep the faith, and continue to walk in your destiny.
We are destined for greatness. We are